And we're recording.
Do you remember that Vine where it's that guy and he's like, girl, bye! You look like my foot! Bye! And he like screams. Y'all remember that Vine? That was my entire goddamn day.
Aww. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Fucking... So I worked today, and normally Fridays are, like, okay, they're typically a little more busy because, like, it's payday usually, and everyone's just kind of, like, getting their shit. But, like, today, everyone had to be especially fucky. I cannot express how fucking...
Breathe.
Don't go into retail, kids. Fucked up.
I feel like at some point retail, like, it won't die, but it'll die a little because, like, people just don't want to talk to people. Yeah, I'm adding myself. I don't care.
Yeah, and, like...
If you're not my friend, I really don't want to talk to you. Like, talking with somebody online, easy. If I have to talk to you, I'm like, hello?
Oh, totally. And, like, you can shop online, so really you can get anything you need shipped to you. But, like, there are old people in the world who still don't do that, and they just, like, prefer to go into stores.
Yeah.
And that's truly the majority of the people that come into my store is, like, them and, like, middle-aged moms. And that's kind of like some of the worst demographics to deal with.
True.
On a sale level.
Have you had a soccer mom yet? And I'm gonna speak to your manager!
I've never had someone who's been like, may I speak to your manager? I've always been like, here, let me call my manager so that they don't have to say that.
You've avoided it.
I know for a fact that eventually they're just going to want to speak to the manager, and if they hear it from the manager and not me, then they'll be at peace and not want to fucking argue.
They'll be at peace. As if their soul just ascended out of their body. They reached nirvana because they heard it from the manager.
Why isn't this $24? It said on the shelf it was $24. Why is it ringing up as $39.99? Ma'am, that's the awards member price, the $24. If you'd like, you can sign up for the awards membership and get that price, but otherwise it is $39.99. And then, like, the heavens open up and it just shines down, and fucking Rita is just floating into the sky.
I just got the visual from that episode of SpongeBob where he, like, floats down. Mr. Krabs, I have an idea.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, but it's like up. It's going up instead, and it's like,
I have spoken to the manager.
And got what I wanted.
I didn't even have to ask with my soccer mom ass haircuts.
With long in the front, knives in the back. So this episode is about the DC universe.
Yep. So
I found another one-shot because I'm lazy. It's not actually a one-shot, it's just it's another story that only has one chapter.
Oh.
And, it's not that it's poorly written. It's not like the usual where everything is, like there's just, things don't make sense when you say it out loud, and it's uncomfortable to read. It flows weird, but other than that, the grammar is fine. The contents just sucks.
Okay. Mine is like, well, because I'm not going to read... It's weird, because the rest of the chapters are short. I'm not going to read them all. I'm only going to read the, 2-sentence prologue and then the first chapter. But then chapter 5 is really long, so I'm not going to read the last chapter like I usually do. I'm just going to read, the last little bit of the last chapter, and summarize it, because I was like, why is this one so much longer? Yeah, it's mediocre at best. I really wanted it. I almost did, a Flash and Glee crossover.
Oh, God.
Because, that one was really bad, but then I was like, no, I have to stick to our typical, love story, and it wasn't, a love story, it was just oh, hey, Barry and Sebastian are twin brothers.
So, mine involves, a show I do not watch, called Gotham. Some of y'all may have heard about it.
Patty cake.
Exactly.
As if she listens to the show.
God bless.
God bless her.
I don't think it's a bad show necessarily. I just don't. There are issues I have with it, and it's one of those things where I really don't. Like, I'm too fucked to care, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate the idea behind the show and, like, everything that they're doing. I do. It's just not it's just not my deal, you know?
You don't vibe with it?
I don't vibe with it, but I do, however, think it's better than the vast majority of the movies that are currently...
I haven't seen a single episode. My familiarity with Gotham is that my friend, I don't know if she still is, but she used to be obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. So I know little bits and things about it, and also every other thing Patty Cake reblogs. So that's my familiarity with Gotham.
It's like, the idea is that it's like, it's the story of the villains and the heroes before they were villains and the heroes.
Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting concept.
It is. You just don't like the execution?
No, and it's not that. I think it's actually really nitty-gritty and not bad for what it is. I just don't understand, because it's before everything, I don't care as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you want the established billionaire Bruce Wayne and everything.
Yeah, I don't really care about him
Little
as a kid.
14-year-old making out with Catwoman.
Yeah, who is... I
get it.
Who, like, they know each other? Like,
yeah, I was like, what? Okay.
In the comics, they didn't know each other until they were, like, in their fucking 30s.
I mean, they had to bring her onto the show somehow, so...
Yeah.
I guess. If they're gonna make them a thing, I guess, you know, they couldn't exactly make her 30, because then it'd be weird. This little 14-year-old boy having a thing for this 30-year-old woman.
No, like, the characters don't meet until both of them are in their 30s.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, on the show, I understand why they did it. Because it would be weird if she was, like, 30, and you have this little 14-year-old boy having a crush on her, and then, like, weird tension. That'd be gross. You get what I mean.
Well, duh, but, like, it's just, like, there are other characters they could have used.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. There are other things they could have done with it, and I'll talk about it more when we get to my, to my story, but...
Yeah, okay. Oh, so I'm going first, then?
Yeah, okay. It really doesn't matter. I really don't care at this point.
Alright. I like the balance.
I like the balance.
I don't want to over-tip the scales.
Oh, speaking of over-tipping the scales, before we start, I want to go ahead and ruffle some feathers.
Oh, shit. Ruffle them.
Because we had a conversation about this, and people are going to be like, why are you talking about this on a podcast about fanfic? Alabama! What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck, Alabama?
What are you doing?
Like, I don't know.
She messaged me at, like, randomly, like, last week at 1 a.m. about this, and we went until, like, 3, just pissed off.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, if you don't care about abortion or politics, go ahead and skip through a couple seconds, because I'm about to
go off.
So, Alabama passed a bill that makes abortion completely illegal, and you can, if you are charged with it, you can be put away for roughly 90 years, patient and / or doctor. Like, I just don't understand why the fuck.
Because they're fucking stupid.
Like, it's like if
fucking 80-year-old ass white men not knowing how that shit works.
Well, and the thing is that they don't understand that it's not about the fetus at this point. Like, I'm sorry, that's not what this is about anymore. Mm-mm. It's not about the idea of abortion itself, because abortion is under the blanket of human rights and what they are allowed to do with their body with the technology that we have now and the rights that we have now as individuals. It's about individual rights. It's not about the fetus.
I'm just letting you go off because I'm too frustrated to say anything. Let's move on. In other news, Owen did cut his hair.
So there's a picture that one of Owen's friends posted, and I sent it to Gina, and he has short hair in it, and Gina lost her fucking
hair. I miss short hair Owen. He's come back to me. Giving me fucking JD ass vibes. names.
Oh my god, it's totally JD from Heather, isn't it?
Honestly, I would, if that actually gets announced and that is true, do you know how much I would lose my shit? If they ever remake that movie, Owen needs to be JD. No, they didn't. We don't talk about that TV show. We don't fucking talk about that. We can talk about the musical all day long. We do not talk about the TV show. We do not talk about it. No.
That TV show from like a third person standpoint sucks too.
Yeah.
Like it's just collectively not good.
Even if it wasn't Heather's, it would still be bad. But the fact that they made it Heather's and then they tried to...
not Heather at the same time.
It's not. It's not at all. That's why nobody called it Heather's. Anyone who, like, literally on Tumblr, that's why it was called Pethers. Because no one wanted to call it Heather's. It's like, it's Paramount Heather's. It is not Heather's. It is hot garbage.
It was also, like, very much a old white man money cash in, and you can feel it in your soul.
I only watched the pilot of that show, and I took down notes. I had, like, almost 20 pages of handwritten notes of what was wrong with that fucking pilot. Because it was so awful. Bitch. Oh my god. Just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. Oh my god. The worst thing that made me mad, what they did to JD. Oh my god. They tried to make him like Tate from American Horror Story, like minus like the creepy parts, like the kind of mysterious parts, but he came off instead as like a great value Jughead from Riverdale, which is even worse. No one wants to be Jughead in the first place. I don't even watch Riverdale and I know that. So to get a great value Jughead and admit JD into that? No, thank you! He wasn't charming at all! And I was like, girl, he ain't even that cute. Why are you following him around? He's not charming. He's not cute. He just comes off as creepy.
I mean, that's how I felt about Tate in the first place, because he's literally responsible for a Columbine equal shooting.
No, I understand. However, before you had the information, he like had like the mysteriousness, you know what I mean? Like, you could understand the allure.
The cool bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad boy?
Bad boy.
Bad boy. Girls like bad boys.
Yeah. So why you got girls?
Oh god.
Anyway, don't get that is the briefest explanation of that mess I'm going to get into, because this episode would be 7 hours long if I got into everything wrong with that show.
This episode should just be called Mess.
I was thinking of True. But I was thinking of just calling it flash fiction.
Yeah.
Or something. No?
Because mine's a piece of shit.
Mine is also a piece of shit.
Mine is also something that I would write in like middle school. So it's like
I feel that
it's a little too close for home, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's why I chose it.
Looking at it, I could see that in mine a little bit. Maybe not to this extent, but you know, like it happened, it existed. But yeah, long story short, Owen cut his hair, he looks really good. Other thing I wanted to bring up really quick, she messages me again right after we had that conversation, and she's like, this is again at like 1:30 in the morning, she's like, hey, you know, I hate musicals, but I might have written one. She gives me a 2-hour extensive ass plot. Now don't get me wrong, it sounded fucking great and amazing, and I'd be here for it, but like it was so I expected her to just give me a little synopsis. No, she went on.
I was like, sit down, we're gonna read the never-ending story
Robin.
So this musical that I'm writing, I'll keep it in wraps for y'all. But so I told Gina at 1 a.m. the story. Also, I had work the next day at 8 a.m. I stayed up until 2 to tell her the fucking story.
It was
because
3.
I was in that. Oh,
I remember it was 3.
And then we got stuck in traffic. I went to my future. It sounds weird to say future brother-in-law, but my fiance's little brother's high school graduation, and we got stuck in traffic because it's a public school.
Of course.
And so we were sitting in the parking lot for like 2 fucking hours. And he is into musical composing, and I was like, hey, I have a musical idea. Do you want to hear it? And he was like, sure. And I told him, and then he was like, do you just want me to like write an overture for you? do this weekend? And I was like,
Lit! Okay, hold on, wait. I'm scrolling up. Give me a minute. I'm gonna tell you when this started and when it ended. Keep going.
Oh, shit. But basically and that's the tweet.
Okay, you started at 12:54 a.m. and we ended at... Also, I was just fucking around in my responses because I didn't want to just leave her on read, but I didn't know what to say, so I was like sending random gifs and being like, oh shit!
Yeah, she was very... the feedback was delightful.
I mean, I didn't know what you wanted me to tell you, because I was, like, so into... You ended it...
I just need to vomit it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you ended at 2:35, so almost 2 hours of giving me a musical pitch. Fucking lit. Alright, let's...
Fucking lit.
Fucking lit.
Alright.
Let's now get into the...
Tell me a story,
Thanks.
mother.
I will.
Mother?
Okay. First things first, you guys know when I rep appropriately, I tell you I'm wearing my Flash shirt. I don't know why I always hold it up. I always hold it up to you like anyone else besides her can see it. I don't know why.
Because you're adorable and you want the world to know.
Aww. Shit. Okay. So my story is called Mesmerized, a Barry Allen love story.
Ooh.
Yeah. It has 394 reads. Eliza Evans has been friends with Barry Allen and Iris West for as long as she can remember. But when the particle accelerator explodes, her life spins out of control. Barry is in a coma, Iris is hiding a secret, and she has these powers that no one can know about. Eliza caught up in a big mess when she meets the Flash. Eliza becomes closer with both the Flash and her best friend Barry. What she doesn't know is he's also hiding a secret. Disclaimer, all the rights go to DC Comics and the CW show The Flash, except for Eliza Evans.
I love that when people are like, I don't own anything, and we're like, bitch, we know.
I think it's just for legal reasons. Prologue. A loud noise came from downstairs. I threw off my bed covers and blankets and rushed downstairs. The noises were getting louder and my parents started screaming. I hesitated, waiting on the stairs, peeking out to see a man in yellow holding a knife, and was zooming out the front holding a woman in purple talking to my parents, who had both been stabbed. The man... Right? We're starting melodramatic. She got a traumatic backstory just like Barry's. Oh my god.
Shit, bitch.
The man in red and the woman in purple's faces were moving so fast that I couldn't get a good glimpse of them. They seemed to be calming my parents down. The woman in purple caught me looking and whispered something to the man in red. He nodded and they zoomed out of the house. I was also suddenly at my best friend Ronnie Randon's house, who lived on the other side of the neighborhood. I knocked on the door rapidly. Ronnie answered almost immediately. Lizzie, what are you doing here? It's 1:30 a.m. Should you be at home in bed? I collapsed into Ronnie's arms, sobbing. Ronnie, my parents, they've been stabbed. There was a man in yellow holding a knife covered in blood, and there was a man in red and a woman in purple comforting them. I burst into tears again. It was like how Barry's mother died. Barry was always going on about how a man in yellow came and killed his mom, but that was 5 years ago, and his dad was in Iron Heights. Now he was living with the West family, Iris West, his crush, and her father, Detective Joe West. Mrs. Raymond drove me back home against me, resisting all attempts to run inside her house. When we got there, the police had canvassed the area already. Apparently the neighbors heard the screaming from the house and decided to call the cops. The next few weeks went by in a blur. I moved in with Ronnie and his family. I went back to school in a couple of weeks, growing even closer with Barry and Iris, and the facing torment from Sienna Jameson about how my parents committed suicide because they hated so much. I told her a couple of things that might have gotten me in trouble. My parents died when I was 16 years old. I intend to find out who killed them and who were the man in red and the woman in purple, but my life changed the day Harrison Wells' particle accelerator blew up. Everything had changed that day.
Dear God. Can I just say I love in fanfiction when they have to, they feel, and I'm guilty of this, when you feel the need to cycle back and be like, I was a part of the story all along, or this character was a part of the story all along, this happened, and this. I feel like for certain things, it makes sense, but if you're just like, basically the same thing happened to me, it's like, get out of here, you're not even being creative. If you want to fuck Barry Allen, just fuck Barry Allen.
I fucking wish I could fuck Barry Allen. But alas, he's with his sister wife.
Christ.
It's technically not incest, but it feels like incest. It's the pseudo-incest. It just, to me, if it's any type of incest, even pseudo-incest, it's just icky to me. And I'm like, no thank you.
Exactly.
It's still a type of incest. And it also perpetuates that foster family or adopted family isn't real family.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was like, listen, I thought Shazam would end that argument, but apparently not! Alright.
Let's get into this.
Chapter 1, The Particle Accelerator. Okay, so she's singing Lady Gaga. She's singing Just Dance.
It'll be okay.
Do-do-do-do.
Just dance in my face.
Do-do-do-do. Jeez, Liz, turn that off, will you? It's so annoying. Cisco runs his hand through his hair, checking for anything that could disrupt the particle accelerator from going online. First of all, Cisco would be dancing with you.
Yeah.
Not doing this. Cisco is so fun. Cisco is my baby.
Like, I don't even watch this show, and I know that Cisco is a sweet baby angel who has absolutely fabulous hair.
Mm-hmm. Is it because I reblog or retweet so many things about him?
Yeah.
He's so sweet. He's a sweet boy.
He's just a good boy. He
is a good boy. Cisco snorted. Yeah, well, Caitlin and Ronnie are too in love with each other to notice anything other than themselves. Again, out of character. I'm gonna point it out every time. If when you butcher my babies, I come for you. I'm sorry. Caitlin, yeah, okay, so Caitlin and Ronnie were engaged in, like, the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. Caitlin Snow is a professional woman, okay? Yeah, she may be in love, but she's not gonna be distracted ogling her boy right there when shit is going on. Because she's a professional lady. You probably know more about Caitlin, because she's the only reason I'm still here. She has me in a chokehold.
She's like, you are sitting down and
you were gonna fucking watch this season, no matter how terrible it is, okay? Do it for me! And I'm like, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my sweet little meme, but also my badass ice goddess.
Do you remember when she was in Sky High?
Yeah, childhood.
Everyone else remember that movie, Sky High?
It's iconic.
A fucking blessing.
Yeah, she went from DComs to Sky High to Flash. And then she did horror movies in between.
She basically also played, like, no, she's not preteen. She's, like, sweet young teen Poison Ivy. Mm-hmm. And I was here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Same.
do you remember the guy that was, oh, God, War and Peace?
Yeah.
Oh! You know how some girls were like, Roderick was my bad boy crush.
He was War and Peace was your sexual awakening. Also, listen, don't at me about Roderick.
That Chinese daddy. He was Chinese. He was
I know, it's just funny.
like, slay me with that hair, with that jawline, with those arms.
Use your fire on me, bitch.
It's hot in here, so take
off all your clothes.
Sorry, I got really distracted.
No, you're fine. No, I think it's so funny, like, because when I watched the pilot, like, of The Flash, it was for Grant, because I missed him in Glee. I missed seeing him on my TV every week. And I was like, oh, this is what he's doing. Okay, I'll watch the show for him. And then I saw her and I was like, wait, I know her face.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is that Danielle Panabaker? And then I looked up and I was like, oh my god, it is! Hey, Danny, welcome back into my life!
I feel like also she had such, like, a recognizable face. Like, there is someone that looks like her who went to every girl's high school. You know what I mean? There's a girl in every single high school that looks kind of like her, but not exactly. And I know because my best childhood friend looks like her, and I would always remind her that you look like the girl from Sky High. Like, Ruby, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just, it's funny that, like, she's still here, and, like, I still stan, and, like, she's my favorite in the show, because, like, I don't know if she was my favorite in Sky High, but I loved her in Sky High, but she was in my favorite underrated DCOM. Stuck in the Suburbs was my shit, okay?
Damn.
Stuck in the Suburbs and Pixel Perfect were my two underrated DCOM babes. Like, those two, yeah. Like, obviously, you know, the big ones, yeah. Obviously, I stan. But, like, those two, like, yeah, okay, if you watch them back, they're dated. They're really dated. But they're great.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what's also dated at
funny.
this point? Like, the old Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. I forget how old they actually are.
I know. And then you see Roderick whip out a flip phone, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has a flip phone.
Which, I don't know why he had a flip phone in, like, 2011, but...
I mean, I had a flip phone in 2011.
I didn't.
It wasn't even a flip phone. It was just, like, one of those ones that you held and, like, the little... Like, I didn't even get to have the click of a hang-up, which is the most satisfying thing in the world. It was just, like, boop. It's, like, basically what we use as pagers now in retail. But for my 14-year-old ass, who wasn't allowed to have a smartphone.
No, I never had, like, a flip phone or thing. My first phone was, like, half of a screen, and then it was just all the keyboard down here. And then after that, I just had a bunch of touch screens.
Yeah, speaking of, like, technology and the show, Flash, I like how a lot of shows that are, like, sci-fi-esque, like, you can very clearly see that, like, these little props and dinky things are cheap cell phones that some props member or props employee has, like, fucked up, and they've been like, this is technology, have it, and it's like an old fucking iPod.
No, most of the tech in Flash is gun-based, so they really just kind of have to design different types of guns. It's like, oh, you need a cold gun, oh, you need a mirror gun, oh, here's this type. Like, they do have, like, other types, but I don't think, most of it isn't like, here's a dinky cell phone. It's just a decently propped, but
Doofenshmirtz Evil
Incorporated. Ah, very platypus.
He has, like, a bunch of, like, freeze-emators, and have you seen that meme where it's, like, he's pointing a gun, and it's, like me, and then he's pointing a gun, and in front of the gun it says, shut the fuck up, Nader?
No, I haven't. I relate, though.
Anyway, sorry, continue. Tell us a story.
I shall in a moment. You know what we need? You know what Doofenshmirtz needs to make?
What?
My greatest invention! Make the 100 have good writing again, Anather! Season 6 has been decent, though. It hasn't been that bad yet.
I appreciate the aesthetic.
It's just weird having so many colors. I'm not used to this!
Why do we get colors all of a sudden?
I could see sounds, and I could hear colors. It was awesome.
I can see colors. It's like, why did we not have colors all along, and why are we doing, like, a weird, like, American Horror Story circus season aesthetic?
It's not, I didn't get a freak show aesthetic. It's mostly, it's like a Hunger Games-y aesthetic, kind of. Like, at least in the main part of, like, Sanctum, it's a Hunger Games-y aesthetic.
From the clips that I've seen, it's, like, patchwork color, which makes me think of, like, the aesthetic that Hunger Games, the circus and ALF has.
ALF?
What the fuck is ALF?
That's what you said. You said ALF.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, it's the foundation from in Okja. That's what ALF is. Always got Devin on the brain.
I'm brain dead.
But yeah, okay.
Right,
that's what they need. I pouted it and crossing my arms. So rude, Siski. Ronnie and Kate don't seem to mind my love of music. I gestured to the couple sitting in the lab whispering to each other. Cisco snorted, yeah, well, Caitlin and Ronnie are too in love with each other to notice anything other than themselves. Ronnie looked up at the two of us talking. What happened to the music that was playing? I smiled, threw my hands up in victory and did a small victory dance. Ronnie smirked. It's so much better without it. Oh, Ronnie! Cisco threw his hands up and mocked me. I pouted and turned the music up as loud as it could go. My phone chimed, getting a text from Iris. Can you come over to Barry's lab? We need to convince Dad that he should be able to come with us to the Particle Accelerator online party thing. That's what I hear whenever she opens her mouth. Okay, it's really not, but I need you to understand what she's saying, and I can't just be like, bitch, 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 because that's what I really hear whenever she opens her mouth. Listen, we're not going to get into why this character is literally the worst thing ever. Not going to get into it.
You know.
You know. They might not know, but you know.
Audience.
I've ranted many a time.
Counting on you, audience, to know.
To know why she's the worst.
Audience.
I hate her more than I hate Echo. That should tell you something.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, at least up to season 4, Echo had a point as an antagonist. Like, she wasn't interesting, but she had a point as an antagonist. Now she's useless, to where Iris was always useless. And that's just the base level of why. We're ending it there, because if I get into why... But like the Heathers thing, this episode gonna be 7 hours long. If you follow me on Twitter or Tumblr, you know why I don't like her. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
I laughed and sent back, on my way. You and Barry actually appreciate my taste in music. She responded, only sometimes, Lizzie. You coming or what? Yeah, be there in 10. I grabbed my side purse.
You know, a Google search takes 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Could have just said messenger bag or something.
You could have just said bag.
Yeah, I flung my bag over my shoulder.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway. Bye, guys. Try not to miss me too much. I'm going to see people who actually appreciate my taste in music later. You do that, Liz. See ya. Cisco went back to work. Bye, Liz. You better come later. Dr. Wells will want you on stage with him, Caitlin called from Ronnie's arms. Bye, Kate. I raced out of Star Labs. That reminds me of a line from Glee. Sebastian comes into the Lima Bean, and he's like, that was the coffee place. And he's like, oh, hey, Blaine. Hey, everyone else. And I was like, same. First of all, but second of all, that would be me. I'd be like, bye, Kate. Bye, everyone else. My sweet girl, you're the only thing that matters. Anyway, I raced out of Star Labs and took a taxi to CCPD. I ran past Joe, who told me Barry was upstairs. Thanks, Uncle Joe. I walked up the stairs like the civilized person I am. There's no way that I, Eliza Lily Evans, am ever civilized. Maybe when I really want to be, but...
Eliza Lily
Evans. Bitch, you Harry Potter's mom?
Someone was like, Ninja-generator.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like I get.
Because mood.
But the level of effort
is here.
It's low.
Yeah. Hello, Bartholomew. What's up, Rainbow? I walked into CCPD forensics labs where Barry was working and Iris was stealing his food. I reached over the table and stole some of Barry's french fries. Quit stealing my food, Elle. And this is a nitpick, but instead of L, it should be E-L, they spelled it like Elle Woods, L. And that bugs me.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not shortened form of Eliza L. It's L, Elle Woods. E-L-L.
What about L as in
E.
Death Note? Just the letter.
Just the letter L.
Just the letter L. Done it, signed, sealed, bye.
Delivered, goodbye.
Oh, sorry. One more side note. Did you know? Do you remember? And I always forget his name, but he's kind of like Raven's buddy from The 100, and he dies in season 3. Spoiler alert. His name is
Sinclair.
The cat.
Yeah, Sinclair.
He voices L in the English dub version of Death Note.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Know that.
Yeah, he does a lot of voice work. He's done a lot of the Barbie princes in Barbie movies.
Yeah.
I don't remember which ones, but he's there, and he's in Sabrina too.
I knew when I saw him, I was like, I don't recognize his face, but his voice sounds so fucking familiar. And then I googled him, and I was like, he's L.
Sinclair! It's you! Yeah, when I was watching Sabrina, he just popped up and was like, oh my god, hey, Sinclair! Fucking Sinclair deserves so much better. Oh my god.
Alessandro Giuliani is his name.
Yeah.
He did Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper.
That's what I told you! I said he did a lot of Barbie princes! I just couldn't remember which ones.
I know, I have them up. He did Fairytopia.
Okay.
That was a gem. Mermaidia. Mariposa. Barbie as the Island Princess.
Didn't watch that one.
I did, and it wasn't on par with the others for some reason. Mariposa and the Fairy Princess. And My Scene Goes Hollywood, the movie.
Oh my god. The movie.
Barbie Rock and Royals.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, he was an X-Men Evolution, my guy.
So this is for you to get excited over. I never really watched the X-Men that much. It wasn't my realm of Marvel shit. X-Men is your thing. Who was he?
Who was he in an Evolution? Oh, that's a good question. Let's find out.
This is gonna turn into going down his IMDb.
Yep.
You want to turn? Fun fact. The guy playing older Henry Bowers in It Chapter 2, Teach Grant, he was in an episode of The Flash. He played a threatening menace, and he was threatening Iris. When you threaten a character I don't like, I stand.
Oh my god. Oh, he's done a lot of his animation.
Good for him.
He played Gambit.
Oh
my god.
Gambit, my guy.
Gambit, my guy, you were like the coolest one, and everyone like ignores you.
Everyone ignores you because your movie is never gonna get made.
Because you're never good enough in anything except for the comics to warrant a movie on your own.
No, he had a movie for like, it was set up for like years, and I don't even know if it's still happening. Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit.
It didn't get greenlit though, did it?
I don't know if it got greenlit. I think it might have, and then it just kept getting pushed back or something.
Shit.
I don't know if it's even still happening. I just know it was supposed to happen, and then it kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. So I don't know if it's still happening or not.
Damn.
But I just remember that was supposed to be a thing. Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit.
God bless. Alessandro Giuliani. Remember that, you guys.
Great man. All right, let's go.
Oh, fuck. Right, we're reading fan fictions.
Barry slapped hands away from the fries. And why do you still call me Bartholomew? You found that out like years ago. You call Iris Rainbow. What Bartholomew? I annoys you so much to be called that. Iris's nickname is Rainbow because Iris is all happy. Bitch, where? I stole another fry. What?
And she gay as fuck.
Well, I wish she was, because then WA wouldn't be a thing. She was so much better with her first man, and then they... I'm holding back.
Okay.
I'm holding... In season 1, she wasn't good, but she was, like, tolerable at least. The annoyance started in season 2. The insufferability started in season 3. And then from there, it just got worse. It gets worse every season, and I want it to stop.
Fuck.
Anyway, I stole another fry. Plus, I bought you these fries, so you better be grateful. Something dinged as Joe walked in. How'd she buy him the fries if they were already there? Like, bitch, you don't got your powers yet. You know? Whatever. Something dinged as Joe walked in. Oh, Bear, your test thingy is done. Barry sat in his chair and gestured to the nap on his computer. I think that the Martin brothers are hiding at a farm. There are only 4 farms in the area, and I think that at one, you'll find a really sweet Shelby parked at one of them. He gave Joe the paper with the information. Iris hugged Joe. Seeing as Barry solved your poop problem, Dad, can we go to Star Labs and see the particle accelerator like you promised? Joe smiled. Yeah, go on, get out of here. Hey, I gently grabbed Barry's arm. I gotta go up on stage. See you later? Maybe if there's some time I could come over and we could hang out. We could meet in your lab and go from there. Disappointment seemed to flicker across his face, but it disappeared as soon as it came. Yeah, that's fine. You can call me when you can come over. You can come over anytime. I smiled gratefully. Thanks, Bear. You sure anytime? 'Cause I might be coming a little late. I'll try to come quickly. I squeezed his arm and shot a smile and made my way backstage. Kate smirked. Don't think I didn't see what that was just now. A slight frown appeared on my face. What did you notice, Barry and I see you later? 'Cause that's all that happened. Caitlin nodded, her smirk widened. Yeah, Barry totally wasn't checking you out and wanting you to stay longer. I rolled my eyes. Whatever, Kate, let's go. She laughed and met Ronnie, who was waiting behind Dr. Wells. We all stood behind Dr. Wells as he was explaining and answering questions about the particle accelerator. Time skip. I mean, okay, here's the thing. They say, and sorry I'm lazy. At least they acknowledge the time skip is lazy. You know, it doesn't make it okay, but at least they acknowledge it.
But they are self-aware.
Yes. Pop! Everyone cheered as Dr. Wells popped the champagne. Excuse me, Dr. Wells? Is it okay if I could leave? I need to see my friend. He asked me if I could go to his house later today. Is it okay if I leave now? It seems you guys have it under control here. Dr. Wells nodded. Of course, Miss Evans. I might suggest that you take the longer way home, or to your friend's house. I smiled and slightly bowed my head. Thank you, Dr. Wells. I quickly left the room after saying goodbye to Cisco, Caitlin, and Ronnie. The last two were conversing about what they would do on their honeymoon. Something started to beep, alerting everyone that there was something wrong with the particle accelerator, but I knew that they would fix it. I took the longer way to Barry's house like Dr. Wells had suggested, because why not, I thought. The rain started to pour down. I distinctly remembered Ronnie and Cisco saying that the rain might damage the particle accelerator going online, but I was too busy with trying not to get doused with rain. My phone started buzzing. I took it out and a screen flashed a name. Oliver Queen. Yeah, I knew Oliver. I lived in Star City for a couple years and met Oliver. I was the one who encouraged him to help the city and become the Arrow, because of fucking course I was. I picked up the phone and annoyed. What, Ollie? I told you, my answer is no. I don't want to go back to Starling City. Listen, Eliza. No, Oliver Queen. You listen to me. A golden wave emerged from Star Labs. The particle accelerator! I was hit with a blast. A tingling feeling went through my entire body, and I collapsed onto the sidewalk, my consciousness slowly slipping from my grip. Or that was chapter 1. The rest... These summaries are real short. I promise. So chapter 2, how long? So, like, she wakes up. I don't know if she was knocked out or if she was, like, in a mini coma, but she wakes up from that. And she finds out Ronnie died. Spoilers for the show. If you care, not really. Another spoiler alert, he's not really dead. then goes to Jitters to see Iris. And Iris tells her Barry's in a coma, and she meets Eddie Thawne, who is like, oh, I'm Joe's partner and Iris's boyfriend. You know, the one she actually had chemistry with, and spoilers again, who died for nothing because the Reverse Flash still exists! He offed himself to, like, cease the Reverse Flash from existing, but, like, it didn't work because he's still here, and he killed himself for nothing, and, Eddie Thawne deserved better. Alright, chapter 3, 4 months later. So, now she's, like, talking with her boyfriend, Luke, and she's like, oh, this is how we met, blah, 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 blah. We go on dates with Iris and Eddie now. And then they go, this story uses Jitters way too much. Jitters is, like, the coffee place. So they go to...
Like, Central Perk and Friends.
Mm-hmm. Although they don't go there, like, in every... Well, they might go there every episode. I don't know. But not... You get my point. Like, not for nearly as long as they did in Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then they head back to Star Labs, and so she asks about Barry, and then suggests to play Poker Face to wake him up, because he used to use it as his alarm to wake him up. And now...
Like Poker Face the song?
Yeah, which they do in the show. Barry wakes up in Star Labs so confused, and Poker Face is playing.
Man, they really like Lady Gaga in this fanfiction.
Yeah, well, Poker Face is actually in the show.
No, I know, I heard you. I'm just saying, like, at the beginning, they were...
Yeah, she was playing Just Dance. Yeah.
It appears to be a running gag.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a running gag. It doesn't run.
Or the writer just really likes Lady Gaga.
Running gag. Get it? Because it's the Flash.
Oh, because it's the Flash. Fuck.
I'll go home. I can't go home. I'm already here.
I can't go home. I'm already here.
I'm literally already. So then they time skip again, and she's back at Jitters with Iris, and she's telling her how much she misses Barry, but then, you know, because she mentioned it, he's awake, and he hugs her, and then, so after that, he leaves, and then she leaves to go to her apartment, and she's looking at pictures. I made my way to my apartment. It was a small, sweet little place that I call home sweet home. I went over to my photo album, and went through pictures of my childhood filled with pictures of Barry and Iris, mainly Ronnie and I. I had done this every single day since the day I woke up from my coma. Okay, so it was a mini coma then. I lingered on my favorite photo of Ronnie. It was my 21st birthday. It was the day Barry and Iris had met Ronnie. Not true! They don't meet Ronnie until they're like, oh shit, he alive, but he's merged with Martin Stein, so he's Firestorm now, so we gotta separate him. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
And then they did, and then that's how he met Ronnie. Didn't happen. He didn't meet Ronnie until like the end of season 1, but whatever. Sure.
Shit, bitch.
Shit, bitch. Continuity. They had all planned a surprise birthday party for me, and this photo was taken by Iris. Ronnie and Barry had squished me in between themselves, and we made silly faces and smiled. It was one of my favorite moments of all time. Tears slowly rolled down my eyes as I remembered Ronnie. I felt Caitlin's pain of how she lost her fiancé. I felt the pain. I cried myself to sleep, wondering why this had happened to one of the best people I had knew. Okay, that, like, bothered me a little bit. 'Cause, okay, yeah, he was her best friend, and that would hurt so bad, but I feel like it's two different types of pain between losing a friend and losing, like, the love of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't feel Caitlin's pain because Ronnie wasn't your fiance, honey.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
understand her pain, but you can't feel it because he wasn't your fiance.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, chapter 4. What's happening? So, Luke comes to her apartment because they're hanging out with Iris and Eddie, and Barry's fifth-wheeling. And Barry looks upset when he sees Luke, and then she explains he's a boyfriend. And then after she leaves, like a meta-human, that's what they call them when they got the powers, it fucks with her and says, like, my eyes turned purple, which I don't know how you would know that your own eyes turned purple, but go off, I guess. And so she, time skips again, and she's down at CCPD to help, like, a sketch artist, like, to tell them about him, to find the meta. And her and Luke get into a fight because he was like, will you let me talk to the guy? And he's like, yeah, because I thought you'd be right back. You were gone for a few hours, and you were, like, in the middle of a crime scene. And so he tells her to stay away from Barry, and she's like, no. But then he's like, fine. You can still see him, just, like, be careful. And she's like, okay. And then as they leave, she's like, we need to get Barry a girlfriend. And then chapter 5, last chapter. I'm summarizing majority and then reading, like, the last, like, 2 paragraphs-ish. So, chapter 5, robberies, jewelry, and articles. She comes into his lab all dressed up and she waits for him with Iris. And then he does, and he's like, whoa, y'all look hot and fancy. And there's like, yeah, why don't you? Because we're going to this gala. And he's like, oh shit. So she wonders what's up because he's always going on and he has so much to do. And then she like playfully grills him about it, and then he goes to get changed. And then it switches to the third person, and then like they meet up at the gala, and then some random robber comes in and tries to take her jewelry, and Barry's gonna protect her from like the gun. Boy, you're not bulletproof. And you didn't, it was not until I believe later in season 1 where you knew your powers enough to be able to slow down time to stop the bullets. Okay? Your ass would get shot. That's all I'm saying. Speed healing or not. Anyway. So, then security comes in, and then after a fight, like with security and everything, they lose Barry, and then she finds him unconscious behind an alley. And then the cops come, and Eddie is like, oh, what happened? And she's like lost in her thoughts. But she tells him what happened to Barry. And then he gives her a quote for her article she wants to write because she's magically a reporter now. And then she leaves, like, the gala to go to the news station. And then it goes to this. The doorbell chimed as Eliza walked through the door of CC Jitters, because we need a fucking just constant, man. Jitters is the constant. Where Iris was waiting for her at a table, typing on her computer with a coffee and a Corona in her hand. Eliza slid onto the stool, her to her. Iris looked up. Hey, Liz, how was the article? Eliza snatched a Corona off of Iris's plate. It was really good. Mr. Bridge said that he liked my article about the crime scene, and I should do more articles about crimes that the police investigate. So I was told I should spend less time there and more time at the police station. Iris smiled. Well, that means you're gonna get to spend more time with a certain someone. Eliza rolled her eyes. Barry doesn't like me like that. So might as well give up on that ship that will never sail. Eliza. Bitch, that ship name is already taken by Bob Morley and Eliza Taylor.
Check yourself.
Check yourself. Whether you ship them or it's just a bro TP name, Beliza is already taken. You know you spelled it differently, but it's still pronounced the same. So check yourself. Maybe the reason it will never sail is because of that name. Eliza snorted. Like Eddie and your ship name is any better. Edris or I ready. The brunette delivered the name like a show lady. See, I'm just like Vanna White. Iris, I don't know what that would have to do with Vanna White, but okay. I guess she did one of these. I
guess.
Iris pushed her off the stool, laughing. Whatever. She shook her head and glanced at the clock. It's already 4:30. We agreed to meet at 4. Where's Barry? I don't know, but I'll go down to the station.
Lumpy Princess made a cameo.
Lumpy Space Princess made a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'll go down to the station and ask. I also have to talk to the chief about the article stuff. You want to join me? Iris shook her head. Sorry, I can't. My shift starts in 5 minutes. See you later? Yeah, she's a failed barista. Yeah, Eliza waves back at Iris before heading the CCPD. The end. That was the last chapter.
Great. Love it.
Hate it. All right. Quick interlude before you read your Gotham. Well, since the last podcast we recorded, I saw Detective Pikachu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
In brief, I mean, if you're going for like an A+ story, you'll be disappointed. I mean, it's not bad, but it's like average story. But like, you know, if a cute Pokemon being cute, you'll be satisfied. So cute. So yeah. 8 out of 10 cuteness. My only other problem is that, like, the ending, like, it makes sense. It was weird, and it raises a few questions about the rest of the plot, but it makes sense. My other problem was just a personal problem, because, okay, so, like, the main girl in this movie is played by Catherine Newton, and so whenever I look at her, I just see Claire Novak. So I was like, oh, hey, Claire, what you doing, girl? You here in Rhyme City? You got yourself a side duck? That's great. It is a personal problem. Like, you don't watch Supernatural, so you wouldn't have that problem, but...
Yeah.
You would love Claire, though. She's just fucking badass.
Really?
So, yee. That is the review of Detective Pikachu. 8 out of 10 for cuteness.
8 out of 10 for cuteness.
Yes.
I just don't I know, I haven't seen the movie. I still don't understand why they casted Ryan Reynolds to play Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu.
They got away with a few things. I was like, oh my god, they put that in there. Because I was watching an interview with him. He said he would just talk, and then they just cut it in. So, I don't think that, like, he necessarily swore when doing it, but there are some jokes in there that you're like, oh my god, they let that in there? Wow, okay.
I mean, they did that with John Mulaney as Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that worked great. This also works great. Like, obviously, Pikachu is the best part of the movie. Anytime he's sad, you just want to hold him and snuggle him. Like, his sad little face. I could not. I just wanted to snuggle him.
Because he's just a giant,
cute.
adorable rat.
But he doesn't look like a rat. They made him cute. Okay.
It's fucking Pikachu.
Of course, yeah. But he also said that for the test footage, I really hope he releases it, like, on his YouTube channel or something. But he said for the test footage, they just synced up audio of Deadpool coming out of Pikachu.
Oh,
and that was what they used to sell to him to get him to do it. They just synced up the audio.
Oh my god. Like, whose idea was it? And why? Like, I need them to justify. Like, I need to be sold as to why the fuck.
I don't know, but it worked. Like I said, he's the best part.
I mean, I don't think he did a bad job by any means. I just don't understand.
Yeah. Let's dive right on into the Gotham, shall we?
This little ditty.
Ooh, it's a ditty.
This little ditty is called The Joke's on Us.
Oh, God. I felt that in my soul.
It's fairly new. It has one part,
Okay.
54 reads, and one vote.
Okay, which one is it about? Is it about Jerome or, Jeremiah?
Well, let's read, shall we?
Oh, okay. I just thought it would say it in the title or something. Is there no description?
I'm about to read it to you.
Oh, okay.
Jinx Valeska was part of a circus. She loved attention. In fact, she thrived off of it until she has one very bad day and snaps, killing the snake charmer that was once her mother. Being sent to Arkham, she makes a handful of friends who are quick to learn her name and grow fond of her bright red locks. Especially an infamous criminal who she resembles in personality, the Joker.
She's fucking her brother.
And then there's a quote. In my defense, I was already, crazy. I paused, watching the tall building of Gotham burn down. The staples on my face began to ache as a grin appeared on my face before I glanced at the man whose almost matched mine. You just gave me a little push, I explained, before emptying the gun, allowing there to be only one bullet for the game I was known for, Russian roulette. Now it's my turn to push you. Author's note, main character is copy of Jerome Valeska, so basically she's the girl version of him. I do not own any Gotham characters or storyline.
Yeah, so she's a sister.
Other author's note, I will be yet again using more DC characters such as the Dark Knight Joker, Penguin, and Riddler, etc. So enjoy. Specifically the Dark Knight, so it's not technically Gotham?
No, so it's not her brother. So,
It's not her brother, but it is because it's Valeska.
Yeah.
But it's also Heath Ledger's Joker?
And not Cameron Monaghan. Is that his name?
I don't know.
It's Cameron something, I know that.
Yeah. I also do not own the cover photo. It's a cosplayer who did a great job dressing as female Jerome Valeska. Alright.
Did they?
It's mediocre at best. Chapter 1. Jinx POV.
Oh, shit.
Alcohol has the power to seduce anyone. Teenagers, huge men, and parents who had no business downing the brown liquid like it was water. It was disgusting. The liquid, it changes people. It turns the world's greatest into the lowest of...
Are you fucking...
Serious business, Gina! It's alcohol!
It just sounds like a fucking straight edge PSA. This is why you should be straight edge.
Not even once.
Not even once. Click it or ticket! I know it's about a seatbelt, but I was just going with PSAs. Yeah. Alright. Friendship. Pass it on.
Businessmen became savage dogs who ripped the faces off of the women and children they loved. My mother, her once happy demeanor became sour. Her squishing, soul-crushing hugs became fists that turned my porcelain skin black and blue. It was all thanks to my twin sister, Jax. After a little roughhousing, she complained to my uncle, begged and pleaded for him to take her away from me. That I threatened her one too many times. Apparently, I didn't threaten her enough. With her gone, and her foul lies left behind, my mother turned into a vicious alcoholic. Not to mention, she reached a whole new level of low.
I can't stop laughing. She wants to be taken so seriously.
I don't know what's happening other than the fact that she's, like, retelling her vicious, like, abusive childhood, but also it makes no sense for her sister to just be like, Uncle, take me away, yeah.
Also, this kind of sounds like a slam poem.
And the mom, thank you.
Like a really bad one.
I'm taking an artsy approach to this performance. I think that's what it...
Snaps
also,
for Ruby, everyone.
Mom just, like, allowed the uncle to take the daughter, and does that imply that the uncle and the niece had a relationship?
I don't know.
Okay, she slept with I can't speak today, so I'm sorry if I fuck this up.
That's okay.
She slept with men when she couldn't afford the booze. That makes no sense. You don't have sex when you can't get alcohol.
You could say she was a prostitute.
Yes.
But just saying she sleeps with random dudes when she can't afford alcohol, as if they're gonna leave her fucking $5 on their dresser before they walk out of your shitty motel room house. Like, I'm assuming they probably live in a motel room. I have no idea. Or a trailer park. I'm getting vibes of one of the two.
That the author thinks that that alcohol releases the same amount of dopamine and does the same thing to you that sex does?
I don't know.
If you want to call your mom a whore, just call her
mom a whore. My mom's a bitch. Oh, I can't wait for that song to come out.
I'd come home to be greeted with her being plowed by some huge, disgusting man who didn't have the decency to stop when he heard someone enter, and if they did, they'd offer me to join.
Ew.
This is fucked.
Yeah.
I didn't read this before I decided to.
This is a raw reaction.
Yeah. I was sickened. Violent thoughts began to submerge, taunting me with how refreshing and blissful they sounded. I could get the ultimate revenge. Kill my mother, find Jax, and show the world who Jinx Valeska really is. Mm. It was a crazy idea. One that clearly lacked logic to it.
I want to die.
Me too. And Jinx Valeska, apparently. After days of useless plotting, I voted against killing the vile woman. How the hell was I supposed to get away with killing her?
You know, this bitch wants to be edgy and whatnot. She'll never be Blade Tozer.
You'll never be Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat.
For those who don't know, Blade Tozer is the star of a wonderful fan fiction. It's like the My Immortal of the It fandom. It's beautiful. There's too many chapters for us to read it on this show, but there's so many great quotes, and it's so just... You got Tim Curry Pennywise and Bill Skarsgård Pennywise, and random Stranger Things references, and a bunch of other stuff, and it's just... It's gold. It's a beautiful fanfic, and then you get to the last chapter at the end, and oh my god, it's amazing.
You can find it in the description below.
I will definitely link it. It's called Two Psychos in Love. It's fucking beautiful. Best It fanfic I've ever read.
How the hell was I supposed to get away with killing her? The Ling reader would notice she was gone. People would ask questions. Jax would raise some hell. It was very unlikely that an outcome would benefit me. This is when my mind started to lose that sense of logic. My blood could easily thicken when my mother would taunt me. The way she would slurp down cans of beer and toss them at me, commanding me to get more. Any money I made at the circus was used to fill her addiction. My red hair began to lack its luster as I continued to tease and gel it to cover the bruises she left after I refused to use my hard-earned money to pay for her whore attires and essentials.
Whore attires?
And essentials.
And essentials.
If I ever own a sex shop in my life, that's what it's gonna be called.
Whore attires and essentials?
Ruby's whore attires and essentials.
Fucking fantastic. No, I think just simplify it. Ruby's whore essentials.
Essentials? Does that mean like condoms and lube?
I don't know.
Like the bare basics?
Or does it mean like, hey, you gotta go get me a sex doll?
Fuck.
Like, okay.
Jesus, Jinx. I hissed, looking in the mirror, my face coated in
Fucking hate
multicolored
this bitch.
bruises. Some were older, and ones were newer. The old ones hurt more. They were a more constant reminder, an ache of the older beatings. 2 pieces of my flaming red hair fell above my eyes. No matter how much I tried, the 2 strands just fell limp, causing the irritation under my skin to itch even more. Snapping the comb I held in my fingers. Damn it! I cursed, angered by the piece of the comb that managed to scrape my scalp. I was dripping blood all over the small, cramped bathroom floor. Valeska! The familiar tone of the ring... Oh, this is the ringleader. I thought that was the mom.
Yeah, she just calls her by the family last name.
Yeah.
My child, Valeska. Wait, aren't you also a Valeska? What the fuck about it?
What the fuck about it? Valeska! The familiar tone of the ringleader yelled, causing my panic to rise. I haven't missed one show in my 18 years of living. Valeska, come on, there are people waiting! He called again, causing me to grab as much toilet paper I could, pressing it to my hands as I opened my bathroom door. I'm here, boss! I called, trying to hide my sign of pain from my voice while slowly staggering towards my, quote, living room. Valeska, what the hell happened? He questioned, glancing at my battered face and then at my hand that was gushing blood.
How has it been 18 years and no one's noticed her mom abuses her?
Yeah, it's in it's supposed to be like a circus setting, which the idea is that everyone lives in trailers together and they're close.
And if they're close, how would they not notice that?
And if they do notice that, why are they not doing anything about it?
Terrible fucking people.
What can I say, Bloss?
Blossom. I'm the Powerpuff Girls.
What can I say, boss? I'm clumsy, I replied before giving him my crowd-winning smile. Whatever, Valeska. I see you're no shape for the show tonight. Why don't you stay back and... He paused, his eyes taking in the piles of beer cans and bottles. Clean up, would you? Sure thing.
Fucking dick.
I responded, trying to maintain my award-winning smile as he turned away, making his way out of my trailer.
Is it?
And beautiful.
Is it?
And out of my line of vision.
There's a serial killer in her eyes.
Immediately. You look like, do you remember that old, Jeff the Killer picture?
Yeah.
That's what that looks like. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Creepypasta. Immediately my smile faltered as I applied more pressure to my hand. I was beyond angry. The blood in my veins was pounding, threatening to burst.
Let's go with that.
Pull through my skin. God, that was a rough scene, and that wasn't even me. My teeth were clenched as I remembered the image of my mother's face. How could we look so much alike but yet be so different? I was strong, and she was weak. Letting out a snarl, I turned my attention back to my blood-covered bathroom before a light bulb went off in my head. James! My mother's drunken voice echoed all around our trailer as I sat on her bed, taking large sips from one of her beers to calm my nerves. I couldn't react quickly. It would ruin my fun. James! She screamed, again, rustling through the piles of beer cans and bottles, making her way to her bedroom. I had left the door cracked as I tilted my head back, allowing the remainders of the brown liquid to slide down my throat. The liquid was giving my a buzz as I quickly rose to the balls of my feet.
How far are we into this?
A little more than halfway through.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is draining me, and I'm not even tired. Like... That's how exhausting this is. I can only imagine what it's doing to you.
Jinx, she slurred, stumbling forward into her bedroom. She was leaning on the door to keep herself upright as her eyes rolled into the back of her head. The burp that left her body added a gross, fresh liquor smell that covered the rest of the other vile smells in the room. What the fuck are you doing in my room? She stumbles a little more, getting close enough that I could smell the different colognes covering her body. One oddly stuck out to me. It smelled quiet, like the ringleader who generously checked on me. You see, mother dear, sometimes the alcoholic shtick gets old. I grow tired of picking up your mess. Cleaning up after you and disgusting men. What would Jack say to this, Would she be proud, Mommy? I hissed every word, allowing my voice to change octaves every once in a while as my grip on the axe behind my back got tighter. Don't bring your sister into this. How I treated you is your own damn fault, okay? Now be a good little daughter and get me in the bed. She reaches out, her head falling over slightly due to having too much alcohol in her system. Gladly, I smiled, before pulling the axe from behind my back and slamming it down onto her head. Blood splattered onto my circus uniform as I watched her body drop to the ground, causing a laugh to escape my lips. Now that's the ultimate help, isn't it, Mommy? I snickered, crouching down to her level with that of her head. Some people just don't get the joke, I tisked, before stepping over her body, looking for supply in order to clean up my mess. Oh, at the bottom of this, by the way, it says Jinx Valeska x Dark Knight Joker.
Okay,
So she says, I'm using a mixture of the Dark Knight scenes and Gotham scenes. So she's essentially making her own DC universe?
Sure.
I have
questions.
I have problems with this concept, first of all.
Comments and concerns.
I have problems with the twins aspect. I think it's boring. I think it's lazy. I think it's a very 80s sitcom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
I understand in Gotham the idea of the twins is like, oh, we're trying to put a spin on the Joker.
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't think it works, in my opinion.
Where was that burp when you needed it?
Bitch, I don't know.
No, yeah, also, when she pulled out the axe, I was like, oh, okay, because what I thought was gonna happen, I was like, oh, she's gonna bring her to bed and then, like, fucking smother her with a pillow. That's where my mind went.
I thought she was gonna be like, sleep, my sweet prince, or whatever the fuck that
Good
is.
night, sweet prince.
Good night, sweet prince. You know?
Yeah. And then you said an axe, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's
sure.
very, Lizzie Borden of her.
In
conclusion,
I hate this. I'm so glad there's no more.
Yep.
There was more. Oh my god. I could not take
there will
more.
Eventually be more.
Yeah, eventually. But not now, and that's all that matters, because we're not going to have to go back.
Sound off in the comments if you would like a continuation.
Please don't.
Also, did you like my drunk mom voice?
I did. I was just about to say Drunk Mom Ruby is my new favorite Ruby, next to Henry Ruby, of course.
Come here, I have to tell you a secret. Hold on. Come here. No, come here. Come here. I want to tell you something.
I'm coming here. What?
I want to tell you something.
What is it?
Your hair smells really nice. Oh my god. What conditioner do you use? Because I use, like, the Shea moisturizer stuff, but, like, it doesn't get the same smell as yours. Alright, my secret. I think...
At first, I thought, because we referenced iCarly so much last week, at first I thought you were gonna go, I kissed Freddie.
I know. You see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. Alright,
Drum roll, please. Next week's theme is something we've been referencing a lot lately. And by lately, I mean last week and a little bit this week. iCarly!
Y'all asked
Strap
for it.
in.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
This. I'm sorry.
You know,
I'm not sorry. This is
we're
gonna
not.
be fun.
No, it's gonna be
We're
great
gonna have fun.
content. We're gonna have fucking fun.
Have fucking fun, Stephanie, whether you like it or not.
Stephanie.
I will turn this car around.
Okay, Kelsey.
God damn it, Kelsey. Why did we even bring you?
I don't fucking know.
No one likes you.
Sorry if any of our viewers are named Kelsey.
Or Stephanie.
Or Stephanie.
God bless. Or Rita from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna find a shit show of iCarly next week. And you know, we do have a few ideas brewing. We've got some special things coming up. But you know, we only have like 3 or 4 ideas in mind, minus some sequels that we have to wait to do. So, because of that case, where we don't have everything straight planned out anymore, leave in the comments what you guys want us to do.
Yeah, give us ideas, because we'll fucking do whatever you tell us to do. We're sluts for you.
As long as one of us knows what's going on. in the fandom. Because if neither of us know what's going on, this will be 4 hours and we'll just be like, wait, who is that? Why is that going on? What is that? All right. So yeah.
Just whatever you're into, ask for it, and we'll
discuss.
We'll consider it. Yes.
Words will be exchanged about it.
Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, join us for that next week, as I assume it was probably a part of, I don't know about all of you, but probably most of your childhoods. Strap in for that. It's gonna be amazing. And we're gonna re-up the ship war next week. In next week's comments, comment if you ship Sam and Freddy or Carly and Freddy. And we'll reveal our answers in that episode. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Because you totally care about our ship opinion as based by last week's episode. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any closing thoughts?
Not really, no.
Alright, then you guys know what to do. The amazing, beautiful work of art that is Two Psychos in Love will be linked down below, along with both of our social medias and the podcast social medias, so follow us on those. You can also suggest on whether it be Tumblr or Twitter or whatever, suggestions if you don't want to comment. It's fine. Got you. Just, give us stuff to do, man, because, input is treasured. Your opinion is valid here.
Unless your opinion is that Alessandro Giuliani is bad, in which case, go fuck yourself.
Unless your opinion is that Jasper Jordan deserved death, because then you have a special circle of hell.
Oh! Special circle, bitch! It ain't even in the Divine Comedy. So.
It's not in Dante's Inferno, bitch.
Even.
And with that, that's the episode this week. Bye, guys!
That's the tweet. Bye.
That's the tweet. Love you, bye!